you watch Bill Maher's message he gave? I think you sent it. Did you send it to me?
Yes, sir.
You sent it to me. And the premise behind it was what? He was asking, he said, we're looking at statistics about the LGBTQ community. Mm-hmm. Tom, have you seen this or no?
Recently, no.
Have you seen that, Catalina?
No.
Essentially,
okay, first
the premise
everybody's got to watch it. Go ahead.
No, essentially the premise is America's getting gayer and gayer.
So he shows statistic about 7 months ago. We had Gat Sod on, right? Mm-hmm. Who I think he's coming back on the podcast.
Coming back, yeah.
So we had him on, and in the middle of the podcast, I asked him a question. I said, "Do you think the media is increasing, the media and TV shows? Do they have any influence over increasing the LGBTQ community in America?" He says, "I don't think it has any influence." So while we're talking, I'm Googling to see the increase in population of, gays and lesbians. And you see how 30 years ago it's 1% and it's increased to 5%. But then Bill Maher went full blown on this video. I wish we could play it, where he says it started off with this many percent, then it went to 5%, then it went to this. And then he says Gen Z, 50% of Gen Z, or some big number, right?
20%.
20% of Gen Z sees themselves as part of the LGBTQ community. And it says, at this pace, folks, in the next 10, 20 years, we're all going to be gay, right? That's pretty much what Bill Maher was talking about. But here's the point. That right there, the statistic with what Bill Maher talked about, gets me to think about something. I was in the military. We had people who were gays and lesbians in the military, okay? In high school, we had folks who were part of a LGBT, LG community, and we had some guys, that guy's probably, you kind of knew about it, right? But for it to increase the way it is, that doesn't mean a lot of these people that are becoming lesbians and gays were born lesbian and gay. I wonder how much of it is grooming. I wonder how much of it is recruiting. I wonder how much of it is converting. I wonder how much of it is, I don't have a dad in my picture. I don't have a strong father figure. I don't have a strong leader in my house. Maybe, like the famous question, which is what? How do you know you're not gay? You're not going to know unless if you kiss somebody. How do you know you're not lesbian? You're not going to know. It's like, maybe I am. Maybe I don't. Oh, my God, I'm not getting more attention than ever. Girls are not interested in me, or guys are not interested in me, but she's interested in me. And this is kind of cool. So the reason why I brought this up right off the bat is to say, you don't see statistics showing the increased percentage of men has increased, by 40% in the last 20 years. We don't see stats like that. You don't see the increase in women has increased the last 20, 30, 40 years. Why? Because it's naturally, we don't think about that. Then how, if it's scientific, how is the LGBTQ community keep increasing, and we're trusting kids to go to public schools to be indoctrinated in this mindset, and then you're having people like AOC whose concept is being bought by students because maybe teachers are grooming and shaping their mindset. This is a little bit of recruitment going on. What do you think about this?
No,
You're the one that's closer to it.
So happy that you brought this up, because this has been coming up a lot on the campaign trail. 2 points here. I think number one, when you talk about teachers a long time ago, my mom was a teacher for 30 years, right? Those teachers, even if they were liberal, they didn't push their ideologies to their kids, maybe from an economic, bad man rich, things like that in the college ages. But particularly for the younger generations, they still wanted the Star Spangled Banner. A lot of their dads had fought in World War II. They were still Americans. Somebody figured out along the way that the culture war, instead of economics, is the way to change the hearts and minds and to make kids liberal. I talk to parents every single day on the campaign trail. I talk to kids every day on the campaign trail. I just spoke with a 13-year-old last week who said that she was confused for an entire year of what her gender was, because in school, her teachers, the millennials that were these useful idiots, I'll call them, that don't even understand what they're talking about half the time to the kids. These millennial teachers are pushing the pride flags in schools. They have groups that you're allowed to join, these LGBTQ whatever groups, and you're not allowed to join any other groups. You should they encourage people to join these groups and then it's just it's surrounded. They're constantly surrounded by it, and then they get confused, and then it's a cool thing for their friends to do, and it becomes a fad. She was confused for a year because it was in her environment.
Yeah, so is there straight groups? Is there straight
No.
groups that you join? Like, can I go join a straight group?
No, that's considered hateful.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.